Hello there, and welcome to another episode of my Car Mechanic Sim 2021 series. And here we are going after car number 2 on the Hot Rod DLC. We did the Smith and Parker Eliminator in the previous episode, so now we are doing the Smith and Parker Arizona Kid. And as you can see, the body's in bad shape, frame's not much better, everything's just kind of basically garbage tier condition, which makes for good content because we have more to work on. I specifically look for vehicles in these DLCs that are in particularly bad shape, so we have more to work on and more satisfying content as a result. So let's get started, shall we? So as you can see, the body is not in the best of shape. We're going to strip all the panels off that we can get to. It appears to be missing just about everything on the front. Alright, so yeah. Get the trunk. I like the little Continental kit looking trunk on that. It's actually a nice touch. Very Volkswagen Beetle-ish. Kind of. You know, they actually made those Continental kits for other cars as like an add-on. Like you could actually get those. I shit you not. You could get those for a PT Cruiser, or at least you used to be able to. And if properly done, they look great. But I didn't have that much time. I'm not a body person. I'm not even a mechanic. So yeah. All right. So the rest of this is all just. Oh, we got a tail light. I'm gonna ditch that license plate. Boy. Okay. Wow, that's a cool place to put the battery. I'll have to remember that for later. But fuck it. Let's go grab one, just so I don't have to fuss with that later. Normally we do this part later, but assembly. Yeah, that's the only thing back here. Great, might as well. Yeah. All right, let's get the frame fixed up. That'll get us our first 100% for the day. 1,300, yes please. Man, actually the flame job there doesn't look too bad. We might try to... Oh, we don't want to do it again. I want to get rid of it. Bam. Sorry if I feel a little bit more upbeat now. I just literally got done with an interview for a job, so kind of still riding that adrenaline rush from doing that. And I think that's it on body parts. The rest of this was frame, and all that's sparkling new now. This one looks like it's going to be a fun build. I can already tell. The chain steering wheel. Have you ever seen the movie, one of the, was it Up in Smoke? One of the Cheech and Chong movies? Where he's got that lowrider with the, looks like a chain link steering wheel on it. I'm kind of getting those vibes from that. Not gonna lie. Do we even want to try to fix any of this? Oh, gosh. I'm gonna say no. Just, I don't do this very often, but we're just gonna ditch everything. Because it's just garbage. Anyway, so let's do the interior first since we have easy access to it. Disassemble. Don't worry, we'll be getting a new steering wheel here pretty soon. Go to assembly mode. Go. Get back out once we, yeah, there we go. We're just gonna nuke those because, you know, those aren't very fixable. Let's get to the interior shop. Brand new steering wheel and 2 fabric seats. All right. You guys put back in. And go back to normal mode. So yeah, frame and interior 100% now. So now we get to basically queue up everything we need for getting the body of this slap back together. So, off to assembly mode. Right front door, windshield, hood, fender, although I hesitate to call that a fender. Fender's a fender, in all shapes and sizes. New trunk, new rear window, and rear fenders. Round things out, I guess. I almost wanted to call them quarter panels, but pardon me, don't get me started on that. Alright. Get the front right door. There's our windshield. Brand spanking new hood. Complete with grill work, apparently. Front right fender. And we got the matching fender. The other door. Got ourselves a nice fancy trunk. Rear window. Okay, we got the left fender, and I can click on these things correctly. Got ourselves a right fender. Alright, let's get everything put on. We'll get the license plate separate. Don't worry. We're not going to forget that for very long. Ooh, I like the styling on... Oh, shit. We forgot the front bumper. We'll fix that here in a minute. Anything else? Windshield. Yes, thank you. Yep. So we're going to need quite a few parts yet. Did I get the... Okay, I got the rear window. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Got a bunch of stuff very quickly there taken care of. Front bumper. Both headlights. Got that side mirror in the window. The other mirror in the other window. And... Oh, taillights. Yes, yes, yes. Almost forgot those. Again. What else? Okay, I think we're okay. Go order some more stuff. Front bumper. Although, what that bumper is protecting us from is debatable. I mean, I'm not trying to knock the design. These are very pretty cars. I'm just kind of like, you know, when you look at a bumper like that versus the bumper, say, on my truck, it's, you know, different vehicles, different functions, I suppose. I suppose a big ugly metal bumper probably wouldn't look as good on something like this, so yeah, aesthetics. Again, different car, different function, you know. Keep an open mind, you know, that kind of thing. These cars, you know, I've seen stuff similar to this at car shows, you know, many times because people like to do rat rods and stuff, especially around here, in my part of the country. Either brodozers or rat rods, or some variation thereof. And like I said, nothing wrong with any of them. We've got an actually pretty good-sized classic car club here in my town, even as small as a town as it is. It is actually going to be looking pretty boss when we get done. Alright, speaking of boss, we're going to... What am I doing here? We're gonna go get a custom plate. Let's do one for now. Do my standard plate that I do on just about every build, unless it's like a theme build or something. Okay. Cut. By part. There we go. Good stuff. Guess we can... As one strong hinge. Alright, let's take a look at your numbers here. Okay, so body's 100%. So I'll tell you what, let's get this thing to paint and see what we can come up with. There we go. And I actually did send it to the paint booth this time and not the parking garage. Hold still. This mic likes to move around, even without me touching it. Okay, so we're going to change this up a little bit. You know what? That actually doesn't look too horrible on there. But I want metallic. I'm a sucker for metallic paint jobs. No, we're getting somewhere. This one might actually benefit from a gaudy green paint job. These things are meant to like... Oh, that's actually not a bad color either. Ooh. It's almost a Ford blue. Let's try that. Digging it so far. Wish you could two-tone the thing here, but let's see what we got in terms of liveries. So, center stripe, fenders, and they do two-tone the thing. Actually, it's three-tone. Okay, let's try two. Same thing, but black stripe. Honestly, it doesn't look that bad. The 3 just gives us a two-tone on the fender, which honestly doesn't look that bad. Maybe. Maybe. Oh dear. Why would I... Oh. That is certainly something. Cute, kitschy, but I could do without the fake rust spots. Oh, here we go. Full fucking Hot Wheels, man. Full gosh dang Hot Wheels. Do we have anything else? Oh, we do. We have it in white. I think, honestly, is we're going for something a little louder than what we normally do in terms of paint jobs. And since this was already on there in a different color, I think we found our match. I'm liking this. I'm not even into loud paint jobs and I like this. Plus that's going to make a really nice thumbnail for the video too. Full on Hot Wheels, man. Tell you what. Alright, let's get this thing back in the booth. The other booth. The bay. I'll get the words right yet. Right. So we're already at 100% for 3 out of 4. And so we're off to do the parts, which is going to be interesting because 17% part condition is usually means that everything under the hood's pretty much trash. But that's what we're here for, man. We're here to fix shit up. You know, the engine compartment's gigantic. When even if the thing's got a big freaking air scoop like that, and the hood fits comfortably over it without any sort of notching. Like that's probably where that lines up. Yep. The only well, I guess it is notched, but you know what I mean. Like it doesn't stick straight out of the hood like on some of the Salem fastbacks. Oh boy. This one's going to be a hoot to take apart. Alright, we need to get her up in the air because I need to get that drive shaft off and the gearbox. And depending upon if the oil pan's intact, we may need to get the oil out of it too. Like we're missing the rest of the fluid reservoir, so I don't think we're going to have to fuck with... Okay. So, good news. No oil change needed. Because they kind of did that, half of that for us. Oh, that's so bad looking. Wait. Oh, I was gonna say, why can't you come out? I have to select it first. When the rust is so bad on parts, when it looks like a camo paint job, yeah, that's bad. Like seriously, this kind of looks like some kind of redneck camo. That's gonna be the order of the day here is, you know, make sure you have your tetanus shots because Jesus criminy, this thing is missing a lot of stuff. So the exhaust is like completely pieced out, or has completely pieced out. No oil change needed, and yeah. That's gonna make... Hang on a second. Taking care of this little thing here. One of the fun things about having pets needing to go for a follow-up visit. Sometimes your vet appointment thing that goes off and it's like, please confirm that you actually want to do this. Like, oh yeah, I wanted to because I care about the health of my animals. Okay. So we got the drive shaft, and actually, let's see if we can even fix these. I don't think we can. Oh, we can. All right. We can fix those. Good. By condition, because we're going to need to, excuse me, we're going to need to do that when it comes to selling parts later and making parts lists. So move this over to Bay 1, please. Yeah. Alright, I'm being kind of goofy today. Actually feeling a little bit upbeat for once. Never get over the fact that we could just casually put a V8 engine in our pocket. It's just question marks all around. I must have forgot to scan this one when I bought it. But we don't need to scan to see that this thing is, she's in need of dire attention. So, let's start from the top. We're going to need a couple of cans of WD-40 to get this thing apart and maybe a tetanus shot. But, well, we'll do it. She's going to look shiny and new by the time we get done with her. Even if it takes all day. which it won't. You can just kind of picture the vehicle having this kind of environmental damage done to it. Like it's been sitting somewhere, like in a junkyard or someone's barn for decades. Gimme. Thank you. Okay. Oh, we need to get all the... Oh, boy. Thankfully, we don't have to heat and beat any of this stuff off the engine. Our WD-40 here is a miracle fluid. Oh, it kind of is in real life if you think about it. It's not a lubricant. Don't treat it as such. For the love of God, don't treat it like a lubricant. That being said, it is a good penetrant. That's what it's designed to do. And also, another caveat to that is you can actually use it to clean firearms too, by the way. It actually does work pretty well for that, but you still want to lubricate it in some fashion. Coming from personal experience. One rusty bolt. Two rusty bolt. Multi-rusty bolts. Lots of rusty bolts. Everything's going to be a rusty bolt on this thing. One lonely rocker arm. Come on, stop. My mouse is sensitive, and if I move it a little bit, it moves it right off. What am I forgetting here? Oh, spark plugs. I'm like, dude, everything's blending in because it's so rusty. Not even joking. Alright, let's get all the clutch stuff off here. We could free up the crankshaft. It's still coming apart relatively easy. I honestly thought I'd be hitting more rusty bolts than this. Thank God we don't have to torque stuff to spec in this game. This game has just the right amount of detail so as to not be like super annoying when trying to do restorations. Okay. Do we have anything down here? Oh! I have one lone brain cell, but this thing has like one lone... oh wait, no, two. A whopping 2 rod caps. Oh god, all of the crankshaft bearing caps are gone. Oh, sweet Beavis. Okay. Let's get these pistons out and see if we can resurrect the engine block. And maybe the crankshaft. That's about the only 2 things we're keeping. Righto. You know the thing's busted when you have to go through no less than 4 frickin' layers of repairs to get the thing to 100%. Neither one of these are performance parts, so we're just slapping them back in. The rest of this, however, that looks so much better. Oh boy. So let's get rid of everything that's not 100% here. So sell parts. Set it to 90, and poof, they're all gone. We're going to buy all new stuff for the engine. We're going to cram as many performance parts into it as we can get, and go from there. And let's pop this thing into assembly mode. Got ourselves a flywheel. 8 pistons with Conrod. Got a camshaft. 3 crankshaft bearing caps. Oil filter, alternator, power steering, fuel filter, and ignition coil. I think that's going to be everything for the first round. Let's go buy shit. Yay, go shopping. Alright. Flywheel, performance part, 0.5%, but hey, every bit counts. Pistons with Conrad, 8 of those. Camshafts, definitely a performance part. Gives us almost a 2 3/4, almost a 3% increase. Very nice. Bearing caps are standard, oil filter standard, alternator, thank you. Bam. Power steering pump. Got you. Fuel filter, another small part, but important. Ignition coil, 4%. Really? Damn, okay. I get what you're putting down. Right. The rest of this is standard parts. Get a little parched. Okay. So, first things first. It should be basically a bog standard V8, so we're gonna... I didn't look to see what piston rings we needed, but, you know, stands a reasonable guess that we could just use the off-the-shelf stuff. There you go. Throw a filter right here. Let's see if we did this right. Hey, lucky guess. A lot of these V8s, they use a lot of almost the same engine, or at least the same standard parts in them. So you can look directly at the piston and it'll tell you what type of piston, and that'll tell you what type of rings to use. But if you do like I did, you don't bother reading the labels. Generally speaking, unless it's a specific kind of engine that's specific to a particular brand of car, like if it's one of these more or less a generic, for the most part, generic V8 engine, standard piston rings all day long. And if they don't work, it's not the end of the world. You just sell the ones that you have. Go in and shake your head, you know, very slowly while you're busy going back to the part shop and getting the correct part. Just like real life, you know? Except in real life, you'd probably be saying some choice words in the process, too. At least that's what my dad used to do back when I used to follow him to and from the part shop because he fancied himself a mechanic. He insisted he knew more than, you know, some of the car shops in town, and he wasn't entirely wrong. But sometimes his fixes didn't always work very well or for very long. I mean, most of them did, but he knew more than I ever would about fixing up cars, that's for sure. Anyway, clutch plate, 5, 6, 7, 8 rod caps, cam gear, distributor. I think it's everything. Seems like everything. Let's go back here, get the performance stuff first. So clutch plate, thank you. You can tell it's performance because it has more red in it. Yep. Like the old joke about, you know, like having, like, was it like red paint on the car adds like 10, 15 horsepower or some nonsense like that. It's kind of like a long-standing bit of sarcasm when it comes to vehicles. Let's see, that's a standard part. That's a standard part. Distributor, thank you. that. We're going to need 2 generic engine heads to give us a total of 18% increase in performance. Very cool. I can't wait to see this thing dyno if we're going to get that kind of numbers out of it. I mean, it's already a V8, so we should get okay horsepower out of the gate with it. Alright, the cam gear. Okay. Get that in there first. These rod caps on. Next round of parts, we're going to get the oil pan put on, then we can right the engine and actually do the rest of the assembly from a little better angle. Oh, this engine's already starting to look so nice. It's no longer a big rust block. It's such a transformation when you do these kind of restos. And let's get the cam gear on. Our distributor. I'm going to go ahead and put the heads on. Get them taken care of. Right. Let's check our inventory, make sure we got nothing else there, looks like. We're going to start away from the back. So clutch pressure plate, intake manifold, distributor rotor, of course the oil pan, exhaust manifold, the other exhaust manifold. We're going to need 16 push rods. And did I get the timing chain? I did not. Let's fix that. Alright. Probably go ahead and get some rocker arms, but let's get the performance stuff first. So, pressure plate, Gracias. Intake manifold, 2% increase. Very nice. Rotor for that extra 0.5%. Please. Standard part. Need 2 of these. Gib. Blocks. Now, the rest of this is all standard parts. So let's go over here. Rocker arm. Yeah, I think they're just bog standard rocker arms. So we'll just go ahead and get 16 of those while we're here, because we're going to need them anyway. Might as well just snag it from here, save the trouble. Okay, we're gonna need 16 push rods. And 1 swank looking timing chain. Dip that in gold, or gold plate it in some way, and I bet you somebody would wear it. Get that pressure plate on. Probably could have done that from the other side, but that's okay. Back up a little bit. Perfect. Drop this big guy in there. Okay. Might as well just get this on there. Okay, that works. Get the other exhaust manifold on there. Yep. There we go. And what else we got? Just the rocker arms and the push rods. Okay, so we're going to work our way down one side to the other. Okay. Fish rod. Rocker arm. Okay. And just kind of working our way slowly down one head, and then we'll work the other side the same way. That sounded dirty, but it ain't. Sorry. Alright. And that side's done. Do this over here and get a little better angle. And making good progress on here. One piece at a time. And get all the spark plugs ordered. The head covers, the supercharger, clutch release bearing. What else can we do? Oh wait, did we not put the timing chain on? Okay, timing cover, distributor cap. And I think that's going to be it for this round. Let's go order some stuff. Okay, got our 8 spark plugs, 1 per cylinder. Head cover B, that's not a performance part, neither is that. Supercharger definitely is. 4% increase, very nice. Okay, I clicked on the wrong thing there. Clutch release bearings a standard part, that's a standard part, so are those two. So I guess be just the distributor cap. And then we'll go back over to the standard part shop and cover B for A. Clutch release bearing and timing cover. I don't know which clips to use on the distributor cap, so we'll put that on first. Okay, clip B. Sometimes they use clip B. I've had some engines use different clips. That's why I kind of held off on getting those right away. I want to put those on before we get the wiring put in, because look at that. You have to basically kind of pixel perfect try to get in between the intake manifold and the distributor cap to get that bastard off there. Kind of a pain in the butt. I imagine it's equally tricky in real life. Put these in since we're over here. Right. Oh, clutch release spring. I was like, okay, well, I thought we had another part put on. And now we're ready ready to order the next batch of parts. Carburetors, ignition wire, water pump, and pulley for the crankshaft. Ain't got nothing else back here. I think we're good. Alright, let's get those parts ordered. Okay. 2 4-barrel carburetors. Ignition wires, thank you. Rest of this is standard issue parts. Okay. Give me my water pump, please. And a crankshaft pulley. Right on. That's going to look so pretty when it's done. Alright, let's get these last little bits and bobs put on. Very important bits and bobs. Alright. Pulley, serpentine belt. Alright, I think that's going to be it on my shopping list. If I have anything that's... Yeah, the scoop air filters are performance parts, I think. So let's go back over there. 2 of those. Everything else I think is a standard part. Got a water pump. And a serpentine belt. Right. Get that air scoop on the next round. Any... Oh, that's it. Okay, we'll go ahead and order... I don't think the air scoops are a performance part, but I'm going to look. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Yeah, it's not. Okay. It was worth looking. Alright. Supercharger serpentine. That sounds like a water park ride for some reason. It really does. Right, get up there. Very nice. Okay, we've got ourselves another serpentine belt. Clicked one too far over. And radiator fan. I think this is going to be the last part. Sorry about that. So yeah. Everybody's calling me today. I think that's it on the engine. So let's get this off the stand, shall we? Okay, everything looks green. Everything's happy. Okay, so we are good to go on that. One second to check on things here. Sorry, just trying to do multiple things at once here. Doing it live, more or less. So Let me look something up about this car. Okay. Actually, it wasn't about the car. It was about something else there, but that works. Maybe. Okay, now we're back in action. Okay, so... Actually, probably need to not close that just yet. Select the engine, put it in assembly mode, and we'll see what else is missing. So, coolant. Servo, and power steering. Pull all that out. It's missing several, so we're just gonna use base B. Go here. Electronics. Use box. So it's B. We'll get cover B. Go back to assembly mode. Pop that on. Gonna get in a little closer here so we can get all new bits and bobs for this. List. Skip the other stuff here. So relay type B. Relay type C. 3 relay type A's. Medium fuse type C. Fuse type A, thank you. And 2 type B medium fuses. Okay, pop all these in. Never trust, even if you have a complete set of fuses on a restoration, don't trust the fuses. Because you'll be troubleshooting stuff for a while, potentially. I ran into that on one of my first restorations. I was like, oh cool, I don't have to fuss with the stuff, the fuses. So I went and, because I saw that they were the fuse box was complete, and I was like, I'm just going to leave it. Learned a little bit later that one of the fuses was bad, and it happened to be the one that controlled the starter, apparently, or the ability for the car to start. And yeah, that kind of sucked until I figured out what was going on. Yeah, part of the learning curve of this game, I guess. Can't make assumptions about anything in this game. Alright, so we got this all put in. I'm not seeing yeah. We're not having to worry about washer fluid reservoirs, which is, yeah, fine. Given that these rat rods are pretty streamlined in terms of their design. Let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and get all the fluids in. Get the forbidden milkshake, aka the brake fluid. Which I'm ever so thankful we don't have to bleed the brakes in this game. Speaking of which. Back up, come on, thank you. Be the last of the fluids we have to do for the engine compartment at least. While we're here, oh wait, we can't get to that from here, of course. Let's double check the engine compartment, make sure we're not missing anything else. Doesn't look like it. Alright, let's get her up in the air. So now, before I forget, we're going to put the gearbox back on, as well as the starter. We're going to hold off on the drive shaft until we get the rear suspension put back to 100%. We do want to at least get these two things out of the inventory. And we'll skip down here because I want to go do the fuel system, then we'll do the exhaust. Okay, grab the fuel tank. I'm not going to bother to try to fix it. I don't even think it's a fixable item to begin with. Shopping list, fuel tank. The pump is a performance part, so we will need to flip over here. Bog standard fuel pump. Right. Assemble. And she's got fuel. Assembly mode once again. This time we're going to do exhaust, which is apparently 4 components this time around. We're already in the performance shop, so we'll just grab 2 of these. And 2 of those. You know, those things. Exhaust parts. I would like those exhausts to go stick a little further out, because I don't think that'd be that good, you know, having that stuff coming up through the back of the engine, or back of the vehicle like that, but hey, the thing. Alright, so 68% parts. Not bad. Making good progress. I'm not even going to look at the sales numbers this time, if I can avoid it. Let's see. What do we want to do next here? Guessing this uses 2 separate tire sizes, doesn't it? Yes, it does. 2 15/65s front, 2 65/65 on the back. Double check. Yep, 265/65s. Okay, that's the back. So I had it backwards. And these are the rusty as hell front ones. We just took that off, so that's... No, I was right. 265/65/18s for the rear, and then 2 15/65s front. Ooh, 2 different size rims even. Okay, so that'll keep us hopefully from, you know, mixing stuff up front to back. Alright, let's get these tires taken care of. I don't have to fuss with them later. These rims look like they might be repairable. So we're going to try to see how many of these we can keep versus having to replace. Maybe, maybe not. If we have to replace them, it's not the end of the world. Yeah. Got a bit of work ahead of us. Oh boy, okay, so all but one. That's better than I thought. Almost messed that one up. Okay, so 3 out of the 4 rooms were repairable, so that one's gonna have to get replaced. Get rid of that, and then we'll need those on the list. Let's go to the rim shop. And we need an 18-inch rim 34. Boom. Not rule 34. Rim 34. Things that sound dirty but aren't. Let's add that to that list. Okay. They're all vintage race tire B. We'll do the 215/65s first. I believe they're 14-inch. Find out. 215/65 R14s, 215/65 R14. Yep. Those look good. And now we need the 265. Let's get that off our list here. Back to the tire shop. This time we need 265/65 18s. Need 2 of those. Just keep that on the list till we verify. 265/65 R18, 265/65 R18. Okay. Good to go. Get these put back together. You gotta be careful with some of these cars. Depending upon which ones you're working on in the DLC, sometimes the cars use the same tire size for everything. Sometimes they don't. That's why you want to double check your numbers, like especially if you're dealing with a vehicle like in the next episode that we're going to be doing with that next Smith & Parker vehicle. It has no rims on it at all, so you'll have to rely solely on what the numbers show for tire sizes. It could be an interesting experience if you don't pay close attention. That should be everything. Yeah, it is. Let's get these balanced. Otherwise, when you go to put them on, it'll scream at you saying, hey, this ain't balanced. Go back and do it. So you're best off just doing it right away. That's everything there. We now have 4 bright, shiny, brand new tires with rims, fully balanced, ready to install. We're not going to install them yet. We're going to keep them in our inventory because now we get to do the fun part, which is get the front and rear suspensions done. And that's going to be probably it on the major assembly, or the major restoration on this vehicle. Start pulling everything apart here. Lots of rusty bolts here, it looks like. Not sure how much of this we're going to be able to repair, but we're going to try. I end up having to replace quite a bit of this. The other side torn apart. Come on out. There you go. Just needed a little convincing with the WD-40. Go. Grab you, and grab you, and then we'll grab you. Hey, that's everything out of the back. Yeah, we'll fix what we can. The bushings I know we'll have to replace, because those are basically consumables. Okay. Well, looks like we still had quite a few that are repairable, so that's good. Save us a few bucks here and there. Ooh, almost fucked that one up. Alright, so where did that leave us? Not too bad. I figured that rear axle needed to be replaced. That thing was crusty. Almost have been a robocall earlier. Bell parts. I have to be careful with phone calls there. Mainly because you don't know if it's a spam call, you don't know if it's somebody calling you about a job, you know. That's like, yeah, if they leave a message, I'll call them back, especially if I don't recognize the number. Oh, left the tire on there. So we need 2 shock absorbers, 2 brake drums, some rubber bushings, two shock caps, leaf spring plate, couple of rear springs, okay, housing knuckle, or knuckle housing, I guess, 1 wheel hub, and a solid rear axle. Right on. Alright, let's get this all put together. Start throwing all this stuff on here. Oh, no, too far. Go. Get the rest of this put on, put the tire on. Let's say we should be good on this side. Oh, hang on. Okay, I just want to make sure we're putting on the right one here. So we have a 265/65. That's still, yeah, that's the correct one. It looked right, but I wanted to double check. All right, get this other side put together. Okay, get this other U-bolt put on. Brakes put on here, and then we'll be good to go. See, this is where if you weren't paying attention, this is where it would get you in trouble. As you noticed earlier when we put the first tire on, it was a 265. Now it's trying to get me to, by default, to do one of the 215s. And like, nope, no thanks. And if the tires were relatively close in proportions, you might not pick up on that right away, and you go to try to set this thing down. And then you go, why the fuck is this thing on blocks if it's got all the parts? And then you go, oh shit, I mismatched tire sizes on the same end of the car, and yeah, that's not good. Easy fix, but still. Alright, that is one freshly rebuilt rear suspension. I'm loving how this is turning out compared to how it looked when we started. I know I say that a lot, pretty much every episode, but I love doing these restorations of the vehicles when they're in basically these beater conditions because it's such a transformation for the vehicle from start to finish. You know? Very rewarding to see everything play out in terms of the restoration like that, making it all 100%, making it look like the, you know, the as good as the day it rolled out of the, I guess, the custom car, you know, place that it came from. I was about to say the day it rolled out of the factory, but there ain't nothing factory about these cars. Whoever designed these cars did a lot of good work. Make these things lean and mean and fast as hell. Which we're going to give this thing a good run on the speed track when we get everything taken care of. He's going to get a full pull on there just like all the other vehicles that we do on the show. You? Okay, I guess we're getting an extreme close-up of the bushing. Right, let's go ahead and get the rest of this apart. Alright. Pull this off there. We'll do the same thing for this like we did the rear suspension. Fix what we can, place what we can't. And keep going from there. Wait, alright, that's everything off of there. Before we go and fix everything up, gotta remember to get the assemblies pulled apart first. Alright, let's see what we can fix. Alrighty. That didn't do us a whole lot of favors, but at least it did some good. But that's alright. I'll have a lot of stuff to order. I kind of figured we do, or we would rather. Okay, let's get rid of all the old stuff. Worn out stuff, I should say. Right, let's go out here and let's go shopping one last time. Quite a bit on here. I need both inner tie rods. Butt ton of bushings. Okay, 2 bearings, because those are not fixable usually. 2 shock caps. Couple of brake pads. Couple pairs of brake pads, I should say. Let's see. Wishbone. 2 of those. Outer tie rods. Good to go. Couple of vented brake discs. Who doesn't like being able to stop properly? Sway bar. Couple of front springs. Couple of wheel hub caps. Brand new pair of end links. Why not? Steering knuckle. 2 cylinders. Dust cover, aka knuckle cover. And single suspension arm. Because I guess we must have been able to fix the others. Always remember your bushings. Alright, starting on this side, since we're closer to this. Oh, wait, hang on. One last thing we gotta do. I almost forgot again. I saw that bottom suspension arm. I'm like, oh shit! I didn't do the assemblies first. Okay, here we go. That on there. Get the cap installed along with the brake system. There we go. Good to go. We just need to do the same for this side. Alright, let's get this last suspension arm in. Alright, let's get this last set of brakes on there, and we'll be ready for the tire now. Yep. There we go. Okay, check our inventory. Inventory is empty. Let's check the overall condition, and we're at 100% for all the categories. Yay! Alright. Now we get to go and do this off to the alignment rack. Get the headlights and the wheels aligned. Right, there's one. And the other. Ooh, those front wheels are... Ooh, they're bad. There we go. Everything's pointing off in random directions, it looks like. Cool. Now we get to do the dyno. See where we're at on this. Yes, I want to proceed. So, 459 horsepower at 637 pound-feet of torque. So we already got a pretty peppy engine in this thing, because big engine, small vehicle, this thing's gonna, it's gonna, you know, smoke some tires. Let's see where we end up. Come on, baby, fly. Tasty. 851 horsepower, or an increase of 393. An 86% jump, not bad. So we went from 637 pound-feet of torque to 1169 for an increase of 532. An 84% increase, respectively. I like. Drag rating looks good, I guess. I'm not going to be taking a drag racing, but I bet you this thing could haul butt. And we're going to find out, because we're going... One, we're going to set you outside because I want to get some screenshots. There we go. Perfect. That's going to be the thumbnail for the video. And that one's just a beauty shot for later. Oh, it's a suicide door. Duh. Why not? Okay. Wow. Nothing but brass tacks here. Alright, let's take her to the speed track. Boop. And boop. Dude, this thing's gonna be bonkers. We're gonna have to be very careful on the launch with this thing. Whoa, come on. Get your feet under you, come on. I knew she was gonna be squirrely, but holy shit. There we go. Now she's got her legs under her. Looks like we're maxing out at 177. Boop. And we're dead. This for real life, yeah. Oh boy, yeah, if I was going to use this as a drag car, I'd want to like practice with this thing because I had to sit there and go tap 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 tap, and then because it was trying to send itself off into the bushes there from like moment one, but not too bad. 177 miles an hour out of it. I'll take it. Actually, I want to sell it. So once we get this back in the parking lot, we're going to look at the final numbers, see where we ended up. I like this build. It's a nice little car. Let's see where we ended up. So we bought the thing for 13.4. You can see the condition bonus and the performance parts and other parts that went into this car. And as you can see, we're selling this for 95 and a quarter. For a profit of 81.7. Not a bad return if you ask me. Considering where I found it, which was a junkyard, hence why it was in such garbage condition. Yeah. Let's do it. That's a lengthy name. Yeah, made some good bank off that one. Alright, let's do some organizational stuff here. We're going to move you. A1. This one's going to be... I like the body style in this one. That's the Smith & Parker Outlaw. That's going to be the next on the list. The Roadster is going to be after that, so we'll move you A2. And then we're going to stage this one, which is the Old Daddy T. We're going to move you there. So you're ready and waiting. That one I think is going to be a fun build as well. We'll get to that one eventually. That one's going to be interesting when we get to it, I think. Alright, let's close up. So, now you kind of got a preview for what's coming up next. We're going to probably be doing at least one, possibly two filler cars in between this and the next DLC, which is going to be more than likely the Pagani DLC stuff. With that, I will turn you guys loose. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Don't have to, but hey. And we'll see you next time.